Hello, welcome. I am glad you are here. It is literally a dark and stormy day, and as soon as we are done recording here, I am going to go make some soup. I'm thinking potato with mushroom and onion. We have a lot of onions. But we are here not to talk about what I'm going to do, but to what I did. This is my mid-month checkup, because if you saw my October TBR, then you know, and if you didn't, you should go watch it. I have a lot of books to read in October. It came out to be 28 or 29. I never did count. Now, I did DNF one. I DNF'd Coraline, which is kind of what I thought I would do. But I am currently reading 5 books, and I did read 10. So let's get into that. All right, current reads. Current reads, like I said, I'm currently reading 5 books. 2 I have kind of tabled, literally they're on the coffee table. I think I'm just going, one's a middle grade, one's a young adult, and I think I'm just going to try and finish them in November, maybe December if it takes that long. I literally have only been reading a page or 2 at a time. I like both books. I just have other things. So those 2 later. The other 3 that I'm reading, Series of Unfortunate Events number 3, which is The Wide Window. Of course, this is middle grade. I am not very far. I sat down for just a few minutes yesterday, I think, and did 30 pages. So that's how far I am. I am currently listening to Heartless Hunter, not really reading along all that much. I am 28% into it. I'm not that into the book yet, so I'm hoping it'll get a little better. It was not on my TBR list. It just came available on my audio. Heartless Hunter is basically, we're following Rune, and she's basically Batman. She has her alter ego, which is the Crimson Moth. When she is Crimson Moth, she is rescuing witches. In this world, witches are hunted and killed. Her alter ego is a vapid heiress named Rune, and she is trying to befriend men who can give her, I keep seeing birds out there, so if I keep looking away, I have all the windows open because it is really dark and gloomy outside. She's trying to befriend any man who can give her secrets on which witch that they're going to go after next, so that she can go rescue them. She is currently entertaining Gideon. He's the male main character, and I'm guessing the romance interest. Like I said, I'm not that far into it. I'm going to keep going. I'll give it probably at least 40% before I decide. But we'll go that. And then I'm reading Scythe. Now, I have a little history with Scythe. I knew what I wanted to do in October. I really wanted to read it. I put it on hold. I was very proactive. I got everything lined up, and I had it in September, but then it was due because somebody else wanted to read it, the library book. As soon as I returned it, I put it on hold again, and it came in because, multiple copies. Then it was due right away again. So I managed to read like the first 3, I want to say 3 chapters, 3 or so. I really enjoyed it. It was very readable, very quick. Again, I was just sort of sitting, I was waiting for somebody to be ready so we could leave, and I just was reading it. So I really liked that. I don't have a physical copy anymore. It is coming in. It should come in probably within a week, but I have the audio. Now, normally when I listen to an audiobook, I have it on Libby, I have my headphones. No, not this time. CDs, that's, they don't have it on Libby, they don't have it on Hoopla, and I'm not gonna buy it. So I have it on CDs. So here's a picture of my little boombox that is 23 years old. I know that because when I had a baby, I was going to play Mozart for both my kids. So we bought this little boombox thing for not much to play little Mozart in the background. It must have worked because both my kids are brilliant. So, So I currently have it sitting on the floor where I do the jigsaw puzzle. Speaking of which, I'll show you the puzzle. I worked on it with Scythe. I worked on it with 3 of the books that are finished. It's 1,000 pieces, but we'll go into that. Good puzzle. I liked it. So anyway, I'm listening to Scythe, because I haven't actually done it in about a week. I am waiting for the physical copy, and I've got all these other things going on. Hopefully, I'll get the book soon. So that's what I'm currently doing. What have I read already, since this is supposed to be a recap, right? I'm going to do something that I don't like when I watch other people's videos. You need to watch my video, books about banned books, because 5 of the books I read this month are in that one, and I talk about them extensively. 3 were picture books, and 2 are middle grade. So if you like middle grade books, you really should watch that video, because I talk about some books that are actually really good. And some of my favorites. There's also a young adult book in there that I talk about that I still love, and I think I'm going to reread. That leaves another 5 books. Well, if I'm currently reading the 3rd book, I must have read the 2nd, which I did. Reptile Room, Series of Unfortunate Events. Now, Lemony Snicket writes books for kids about kids, but there are so many little treasures in there for adults to read. I can't even think of, okay, here's 2. In book 1, the kids have lost their parents and have to stay with Count Olaf. He's a distant relative. He's an evil man. In book 2, they are staying with Uncle Monty. He's also a very distant relative. He has all these reptiles, and the kids are very happy with him. One of the animals is the green gimlet toad, and he says to not give it too much water. He has a snake. It's called the Virginian wolf snake. He says not to let it type. So very cute, very clever. Don't love the books, but I'm enjoying them enough. I read Strange Houses by Uketsu. I loved this book in the beginning. The first half of this book, I loved it. It's based on floor plans. It's a mystery based on floor plans of a strange house. I just love that idea. I think that's very interesting. The main characters are the author, his friend who understands like architecture, and a woman. Now it starts off with this friend is contacting the author to say, hey, we're looking at this house, but it has something strange about it, and we're wondering what you think about it. He says, well, can I contact this friend? And they say, sure. So he and this friend are talking about the house. The friend then comes up with the fact that it's a house for murdering people. It's designed for that, which I don't know how that would have come up, but it works. It does. It actually works. The author ends up writing a story about it, not saying anything, any names or locations or anything. And then a woman contacts him. So now it's this evolving story involving those 3. It's often in a transcript format, so it's a very quick read. The second half of the book, because it didn't have the pictures, I wasn't reading along. I actually went and finished the last 50 pieces of the puzzle, listening to the second half of this book. It's very fast. And I think I should have been reading along, because there were a lot of names given, and not being familiar with a lot of the names, I wasn't sure who was who that they were talking about, and I couldn't keep track. It wasn't until the translator was talking about how he had a hand in making this book into English. I think I missed something. I think I missed something key. I mean, I still enjoyed the book, but he said something that made me think that I missed something major. So I don't know. I gave it 4 stars. I did enjoy it. I'm not sure if I'm going to go on. There's also strange pictures. The thing is with these books, and I've heard it's true about this one, it's definitely true, is they just sort of give you everything. There's really no thinking for yourself in a mystery. You don't need to like, oh, I think it's this person because they did this. So I haven't decided whether I'm going to do strange pictures. Right from the beginning, also when Scythe was due, the second time, I had another book that was due, and it's called Fangs. It's a graphic novel for adults. It's super quick. I mean, some of the panels are full page. It's basically, it starts off in a bar. She's a vampire, he's a werewolf. They pick each other up and they develop a relationship, and it's just cute. It's fun. It's there's a point when I guess a neighbor is complaining because she lives in an apartment that does not allow pets, but the neighbor hears a dog. I highly recommend. I'll put an image of it here somewhere. I probably already did. Loved it. Had to return it on the 1st, a day late. My library doesn't charge, so it's okay. But I don't want to be that person. I had a great time. So I did my last 50 pieces of the puzzle with this. I did the first 950 with Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian McAllister and Only One Left by Riley Sager. Loved those, devoured those. Got a lot of housework done. Wrong Place, Wrong Time has a backstory because, and I mentioned it before, I heard the synopsis, I thought it sounded good, I confused it with another book that they had been talking about and read Mad Honey. Love Mad Honey, but this one was the one I was trying for, and I'm so glad I read it. I would definitely read another Gillian McAllister book. It is a mom, and it starts on October 30th, and she's carving up a pumpkin, putting it in the window. She's waiting up for her son. He's 18. He's an adult. But us moms, we worry, and so she's waiting up for him. I've done that. And so she sees him walking, and he's under the street light, and a man approaches her son. They have words, and next thing she knows, her son has pulled a knife and killed the man. So the police come, and ambulance comes. They get taken to the police station. The parents aren't allowed to see him because he's 18. He's a legal adult. So they get sent home. She manages to fall asleep. When she wakes up, it's now the 29th of October. So it's not a Groundhog's Day kind of thing. She's going backwards in time. And then the next day is the 28th and the 27th, 26th. And I loved it. She eventually learns that she needs to figure out sort of the origin of this mystery. It's very much a mystery. It's no horror. It's not even a thriller. It's a good mystery, and I loved it. The other one I read was Only One Left by Riley Sager. And the same thing, I just ate this up. Okay, my story with this one, my backstory. I started pretending to be on BookTube, practicing. I started practicing being on BookTube about a year ago, September, basically a year ago, September. I made my physical TBR. In October, I read all the scary books that I had, and I was just having so much fun. But in everybody's October TBR that year, they talked about Only One Left, but I could not find it when I wanted to get the book. I couldn't find the book. I couldn't remember the name, the author, or who had talked about it. I even eventually, I think I was like January, February, I went to Barnes & Noble. I went to the librarians, and knowing what I know now, I thought I gave a good synopsis, but they couldn't find it for me. I finally found it, and actually on my own. So it is about a woman. When she was younger, she was 17, her entire family got murdered. And she was always the prime suspect, but they couldn't prove it was her. So she lives in this mansion. She was this very rich family, and it's up on this cliff. There's even a Lizzie Borden type rhyme that goes with it, which I don't remember. She's now very old, and it takes place in the 80s. So now she's a senior citizen. She supposedly has had a couple of strokes. She's wheelchair bound. She's nonverbal, and she needs a new caregiver because her previous one has disappeared. Well, our main character, I can't look up her name. Because of the storm, I'm guessing, I have no internet, so I can't look up anybody's names. Our caregiver has to move in, and she has her own history, which gets slowly revealed. The way the multi-layers of what's going on was just phenomenally done. I loved it. I gave 4.5 to Only One Left. Wrong Place, Wrong Time, I rated 4.25 stars. If you've read any of those, I would love to hear about it. If you have read this and you think I should, Strange Pictures, I would also love to hear about it. So please leave a comment below. Thank you for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Bye.